Our farm is really about agriculture, art, and community. And these 3 servings fill the basket of fruit we offer. When I moved here to this farm, the orchard had been abandoned, and there was poison ivy and brambles, and out of 300 trees, I think 100 were dead. And so it's been a process, a wonderful process, to bring it back.
When I grew up, it was always about, searching out fresh food. I've spent most of my adult life living in rural areas. So, everywhere I've lived, I've had a garden, large scale gardens. And then when I moved here, I never thought I'd, actually be farming the way I'm farming right now.
I always had a garden with my dad at home and just grew some basic things, tomatoes, cucumbers. And then moving out here to Massachusetts, I worked a few different jobs. I wanted to find organic apples because I wanted them to be clean and not sprayed and everything else. So I just got on Google, found on a Google search organic apples, Massachusetts, and I found here, Old Frog Pond Farm. Everything they have going on here between the art and the farming side, and just seemed like a great community that they had built here. It was something I definitely wanted to be a part of. Shot them an email and came up here and met Blaze and Linda and had a good vibe and kind of walked around and fell in love with the place. It's pretty easy to do.
We've created a community here and a hub for a lot of people where when they walk on the land, they have a sense of belonging, not only belonging on the land, but belonging to themselves.
In my country, I have a garden, and I work always there. And when I came here to United States 3 years ago, a friend invited me to work here, and I'm here still for 3 years.
I'd always loved gardening as a kid and having a veggie garden. My parents are huge gardeners, and I was kind of raised in that environment, but never was able to actually do farming until last year. And I had taken environmental science my senior year of high school, and my favorite unit in that class was sustainable agriculture. I'd offered to volunteer here, and I did that for a week and then was hired.
My name is Antonia. I'm from Chile. My mother works here, so she always kind of comes to the house like telling all the great things that she did in the day. So I kind of wanted to have that same experience.
Everything here is certified organic, so we grow organic fruit and vegetables and flowers.
We have been growing certified organic apples since 2006. The decision to be organic was kind of a no-brainer. I wouldn't want to be spraying chemicals. I wouldn't want to be spraying for the wetlands and for all the creatures, for our earth, for the world. Like, there are many more products today than when I first started to help an organic grower.
Although we're certified organic, I would say we even take it a bit of a step further.
They use antifungal sprays that are like totally organic and made from plants. They use clay sprays, which is literally like applying clay to the apple trees, and that is able to keep insects that are harmful to the apple trees away.
We don't spray anything that would be really damaging to just the ecosystem in general and the insects and even the little critters in the orchard. We like to let kind of nature kind of do its thing and take its place.
Things have changed, and we can, I really believe, move away completely from, spraying chemical pesticides and chemical herbicides without having, as people will say, oh, if you grow apples organically, you're gonna have just worms in all the fruit and you have to be careful, and you know, that's really not true. As you can see, we have really a beautiful crop. These apples don't have worms in them.
We've really tried to focus on soil health and the health of our trees, increasing the soil, mycorrhizal fungi, things that will help make the soil really happy, which will then make the trees and our vegetables really happy. So when you get to that equilibrium, to that point, we find there's no need to have to spray all these harsh chemicals, because nature has a way of really balancing itself out.
Also, the people who manage the farm, it's not only organic, it's their way that they live.
When you pick an apple fresh from the tree, it's pretty amazing. Here at Old Frog Pond Farm is also my studio. I'm an artist, a sculptor. Every fall, we open with an annual sculpture exhibit.
There are some sculptors that all the time are there. But also in August, they install with new artists some sculptures, and the people can come and walk around, and it's beautiful.
That importance of really creating this farm to be a place that welcomes community, that inspires people, that provides refuge to people. This sculpture exhibit will continue through apple picking, so that people can come pick their apples, which takes all of about 5 minutes to fill a bag. And they're out here, they can spend, a few hours, they can have a picnic, and they can do the sculpture exhibit.
And they walk the land, and they get to see what other people have brought here.
The exhibit this year features over 50 pieces, and there are 37 artists who are part of it. And the theme this year is emergence, because we're all emerging. They'll go around the pond and back, through the woods and up over an esker and down and through the field, and then come back out and take the walk down towards my studio.
This is a community where so many people are involved in art already that it feels like sometimes I'll just be working and look up and see people painting here, so it definitely is a place that has an artsy environment.
In Zen, you have a Sangha, all the people who are practicing together. But so here, could this become a community where we were really all helping each other? We have volunteers, we have poets who are inspired and write poetry and share it. We have artists who bring their work here.
Most of the art that I make is illustrations that to some degree have elements of the natural world in it. They are definitely very pastoral scenes, and I feel like that is definitely influenced by being here.
We're growing vegetables. We grow early in the season greens in our hoop house. There's now tomatoes in there, which are shortly going to be available. We have a small self-service farm stand that's open 7 days a week. And then we have our fruit. And that's really what we're most known for. We're the only orchard that has pick your own organic apples in this eastern part of Massachusetts. We put in a row of blueberry bushes, and now we've added 3 more rows, so those are coming online. And we have asparagus. So we have a whole area that's all perennial crops. We have the raspberries, the blueberries, the asparagus, grapes is a new crop for us, and rhubarb is all growing in the perennial area.
Being the farm manager here, I oversee our crew right now, which are 2 wonderful workers, Isa and Matt. Matt came here last season and helped out in the summer.
Pretty much everything about farming I've learned here. How to just grow food, how to work in the sun, how to work long days, My first day was me mostly weeding, because that was a task that I was able to perform, so let's be simple, and harvesting lettuce, and I remember having no idea how to properly do it.
I have always liked to work like, with the ground and like with the plants, and I wanted to learn how to work with them.
I learned a lot of things. I learned to plant, to prune, to, no sé, collect the fruits.
They just start doing. They get their hands in the earth. That's the most important thing. There's an old Chinese proverb that says the best thing for your crops, the best thing for a plant is the farmer's footsteps. So you have to be there. You have to actually see what's going on.
You get kind of a farmer's sense sometimes of being around some trees or being in an area where you kind of get a feel or a vibe of, you know, what the trees need.
The tree teach you how you can prune. It's a cooperation for both.
They might be planting carrots, or they might be pruning in the orchard, or they might be harvesting rhubarb, or they might be helping a sculptor set up their installation.
Living like on a farm, you're always working together.
Get the vegetables going at the greenhouse, up and running, spraying the orchard, cleaning out around the trees.
When I work with the blueberries, with the raspberries, I work in the orchard most of the time last year. And also I work in a garden, in a field, to planting and to weeding. When you're weeding the land, also you're weeding you inside you. No? It's a very interesting way to do the things.
I do a bit of everything here, between seeding trays for transplants, planting them, harvesting. Now just kind of keeping an eye on pests and seeing as the summer is rolling in what's going to start bothering kind of the plants that we have out there.
One of the principles we function from here on the farm is that we're all one. So that includes the land, and that includes the trees, and that includes the air, and the plants, and the animals. So we try to honor all of it in a special way. We have a lot of gatherings, winter solstice, summer solstice. There's a community that comes in here called the Sacred Fire Community we host. We have a West African drumming class here. And that's not entertainment. That's how people live their lives in other cultures.
We'll have apple picking and of course the sculpture exhibit, and then I'll be leading a number of tours through the sculpture exhibit. Part of my practice is serving, is service, is to help wherever I can.
If the people want to buy their food, and also if they want to unpick the raspberries or the apples, and also walk in the wood and see the sculptures, will be wonderful.
Us farmers wear so many hats. Like, you have to be a bit of a biologist, a mechanic, an administrator, kind of a foodie at the same time. It's a lot of work. It really is. And I've been here some days, just the really long hours, 10-hour days, 11-hour days. There's always something to do, that's for sure. So, very busy. I think when people come here and they're just genuinely grateful for what we do here, and they're genuinely grateful for just the whole area and what we've built here, and just the community and the positive energy that just resonates from this place that come here. Seeing something you grow from seed and taking care of it, and then, selling it and sending it to a good home, so to speak, and having people saying, thank you for doing this, thank you for doing what you do. Like, this means a lot to us, to our family. I think that was pretty moving.
I really wanted to bring back this orchard, and that's been like so that's been my baby.
Linda and myself, like we brought our two worlds together years ago, and when they came together, you know, this is sort of the outcropping of both of how we feel about living mindfully on the planet.
We've tried to build a very heartfelt, you know, welcoming place that people can come and feel a part of. So I think that's been really gratifying to be a part of that, for sure.
The farm is beautiful. It's nurturing.
I love like the community here. All the people are really nice. They have like really big hearts.
The love is felt the minute you step on the farm and walk around and you see just the care that we put into this place.
For me, it's like a school for my heart and for my mind to give me the peace. And I think the people when come to here can find the same that I found it.